Good morning and happy birthday to my son who was born in 1983. So he is 39 today. Happy birthday, darling. This is your last year of your 30s. Anyway, my topic today is something I want to revisit, and it's a topic I made when I was addicted. So I was using drugs when I first started YouTube channels, and they now apparently it's got a disorder, methamphetamine dependency disorder. That's what the official, whether it's Queensland or Australia, I don't know, but now the name for my addiction is methamphetamine dependency disorder. And what I want to talk about is that when I first started these videos in about 2020, I started because my husband was dying in hospital. He, like me, was an IV user, but he would use anything IV, and he specifically loved fentanyl. And he would spend ages and go on the nod, and sometimes I called the ambulance because he OD'd. Now, what I'm revisiting is the dangers. What my daughter is a registered nurse and a midwife, and for months and months she had been warning me of these cases because she worked in a ward where addicts came in. These cases of these young people who had got clean, turned their life around, but had died. And they were all IV drug users, and they had died because of infections. And you can see in my 2020 videos, not only am I off my face and distressed, I'm trying to get across a message, even though I wasn't taking the message seriously myself. And this is it, and I'm only going to be very brief here. When you shoot up IV, and just before I go there, my husband wasn't the best with hygiene, but it doesn't really matter how good you are with hygiene, because I want you to know that the skin is an intact organ. And yes, there's parasites and bugs that live on us, but every time, like get a sore or an ulcer or make a hole or an abscess, it allows access for a pathogen to get in. So now we're getting to my brief message and my warning that I tried to do in 2020, and lucky that this hasn't happened to me. But apparently if you're an IV user and you make it past 40 healthy, you're more likely to win the lotto. I started at 43, finished at the age of just 60 because I'm nearly 18 months clean and I'm nearly 62. Anyway, what I want to warn you about is it doesn't matter what drug you shoot up. You know of the dangers, you don't really know what you're getting. So you could be getting, who knows, it could be laced with anything. That's one danger. Two is the danger of overdose. How many people have got clean, then got out, say, of jail, shot up, and thought they were used to it and died? Or you don't know how pure it is, so you think you can tolerate so much and die. We know these. As IV drug users, these dangers are pretty well made clear. What isn't made clear is every time you poke a hole or make a hole, not only can you damage your veins, because how many times you've got abscess in veins, so you have to go somewhere else. I've heard of people shooting in their penis, people shooting in their eyeball, anywhere in their neck. I never resorted there. I did try my legs, but they say anywhere below your knees is dangerous. They warn you. But this is my warning. Your skin is an intact organ. Every time you make a hole, you have a chance of a bug going into your skin, entering into your bloodstream. And this is what I was posting in 2020. My husband died as a result of this. What happened is bugs went to his heart, to his heart valves. Apparently your heart valves does not receive a blood supply. So a colony of pathogens grew on his heart valves, broke off, went into his bloodstream, went to his lungs. Now there are several major organs that the bugs love. Lungs, heart, brain, blood, and apparently the bottom of your spine. You can get cysts in the bottom of your spine, and these are permanent internal spinal cysts. My husband died because he had not just one infection, he had many different pathogens. He had Staph aureus on his heart, Clostridium, which is found in your bowel, in his blood, and other bugs. He was septic, and on his death certificate it says that he died because when he had the cardiac arrest, there wasn't enough oxygen that got to his brain, so he ended up a permanent vegetable. But it all stemmed from the original hospital admission of an IV drug user who got infections. So that is what I want to warn you. If you are a drug user or you are seriously thinking about IV drug use, it's not just what you don't know what you're shooting up. It's not just the amount you're shooting up, but it's the fact that every time you're playing Russian roulette and chancing that you too may die like my husband from infections. And I wanted to revisit this because this is why I grieved, because my husband died. This is what kept me in addiction, but thinking I was invincible. That's why when you go and have your blood taken at pathology, they have gloves and they use swabs, but even then it's not careful. Every time I remember being in hospital and they put a drip in my arm and they missed the vein and it tissued. So not only are we damaging veins, we are risking infection. And I'll leave you on that note. I want you to enjoy your day and really rethink IV drug use, because I have said it is really hard to get clean. I was just lucky. Someone else maybe not have that strength and really want to give up. So let's minimize harm, and I just want you to be aware of that. So hygiene, but really, if you're going to take drugs, let's not shoot them up. So I am not in any way enabling drug use. In fact, I am warning you of intravenous drug use. Thank you for listening to me. Take care and love. I've got an appointment today. All the best. Bye.